expect me to exit without stating my case. So I felt I had the rights to do that. It really did get a little bit uglier than I had expected. They were very aggressive. If you watch the video that's on the post, you could see them, pushing me into the corner and me just trying to tell them, like, I'm pointing, like, can you check the cameras or can you check my phone? Like, you could see me having this same back and forth. But I have spoken to Matt since. I will go through all of that on my podcast. But for everyone out there, when you're faced with a situation that you really couldn't have predicted. I mean, I've had so many incredible experiences at Radio City. I've been going there since I was a kid. I go there every year to see the Rockettes. I've never had a bad experience in Radio City. So with that said, I have to, look at the overall picture. I have to ask myself, okay, could they have been having problems with other people? Where did this stem from? But they did try to go for the 5150, but when the paramedic interviewed me, she was like, you're absolutely fine. Like, this is ridiculous. It was her that got out and then spoke with them and said, you have to handcuff her and let her go home. This is absolutely insane. And also, nobody did check my phone. So that happened. Not pleasant. Not an ideal Sunday night out. And the worst part is, this was our first Sunday with no football. Meanwhile, normally on a Sunday, I would be just home watching games. I would just be one Sunday with no, I hear you on that one as well. But so again, it is what it is. Not an ideal situation. Again, when I realized that I might have just been getting kind of messed with a bit and nothing was going to come of this, that is when I decided to tell the people that I was with to shoot photos and a video, because at this point I'm standing out cold for a while. And I saw some people making comments about my voice as I was talking into the camera. I think I was just getting to the point of shivering because I didn't wear a really heavy coat because I didn't expect to be out. And you all know, if you live in a city where you walk and you got to carry your coat, you don't carry your heaviest coat when you know you're going to be indoors. Sometimes you just wear a little coat and you just make it quick. So I didn't have my warmest coat. And so I was starting to shiver a bit. So I do realize that when I went back and listened to the video, you could definitely see that I was like, okay, I was shivering. But everybody out there, sometimes life is going to throw you a curveball and you are the one that must figure out what's the turn, okay? Some days the elevator, some days the shaft. You never know when you're gonna get it. That is amazing. I did not go to jail. I was released from out front of Radio City. But it was just this whole negotiation process of like me just trying to say like, hey, can you please just check? Because I tell you I was not on my phone and and they're like, no, you just have to leave. And I'm like, but if you could just check, you would see that I was on my phone. Like, it was just this insane back and forth. And again, these cops, I was like, are you kidding? Yes, New York does have much bigger problems than me, for sure. But this was just a real mountain out of a molehill, and at the same time a real bunch of bullshit, because if you're going to tell me that I did something and you are not willing to do the steps to take to find out I did not do that something, then we have a problem. I'm not just going to accept you telling me I did something I didn't do. So people saying, oh, she was yelling, oh, she was drunk, oh, she was this. No, and by the way, I can't drink in public anymore, because now I know if you have one glass of wine from a concession stand, then everybody is going to say, oh, she was wasted, she was drunk. So now as a public person, you can only drink at home. Okay, fine, lesson learned. Reevaluated that. That's one of the notes. I wrote myself a whole mission statement yesterday about how to avoid something like this in the future. But at the same time, I'm not a Leo, I'm a Taurus. Matt's not going to be on the podcast. I spoke to Matt, I'm going to do the podcast solo. But at the same time, you're really just shocked. Something like this is happening so fast, and really all you're saying is, just please check because I wasn't on my phone. Now again, mind you, could be burned out from their jobs. Ironically, one of the times, so this year I went to see the Rockettes 4 or 5 times because I love the show so much, and I hope I'm still able to go to Radio City. I don't know. Obviously, I would like an apology. Obviously, I have not processed that yet, but there was a woman in front of me and she was videoing the whole Radio City Rockettes show. And it was annoying because I kept seeing her phone instead of it. I had to like look around her and nobody said anything. Now I get it. Maybe this was different because this is a show that they're shooting. I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, if the phone thing was that important, why didn't they have lock boxes for the phone? Because there are people like Dave Chappelle, there are other comedians where you do lock your phone up. If it's that important, then do it. Take everyone's phones. But to be dragged out and do a perp walk from the second row from the stage in front of 6,000 people at Radio City, to be told I did something I didn't do, no. I may look calm and rational, but I will stand my ground, which is exactly what I did. The cops did not ever ask me my name. They did not know who I was. They did not address me by name. They did not, and none of those things. It was really just this back and forth of me like, hey, can you please either check the videos or can you check the data on my phone to see that I had not made any contact? As a matter of fact, my phone was in my purse. My purse was on the back of my chair. It wasn't even on my lap. And so when they came over, I put my hands up and was like, look, I don't have anything in my hands. So yeah, it was not ideal. And here we are. I don't know why we're watching you live to listen to your, why not? When problems are bigger from a poor guy. Okay, I'm super sorry, but you have IG and you have a phone. So how bad are things? Like, you're here. Anywho. I'm getting a lot of hits to do interviews and to talk about this. I'm also getting a lot of people that are like, lawyer up, you should sue, you should do this. Okay, look, I look forward always. I am always looking forward in life. And when you go to court, you are living in the past. And when you go to court, and the smartest thing you could ever ask is how long will this case take? Because they might tell you 3 years, they might tell you 5 years, they might tell you 10 years. Then you want to evaluate how long does your mind want to be in the same space? How long do you want to continue the same conversation? How many times do you want to revisit the same scenario? Well, would I be suing the NYPD and taking money away from taxpayers like myself? That's insane. And I'm not anti-cop at all. I have a ton of friends that are cops. It was just, these people were like super heated and the people at Radio City were like hella intense. And again, this is over a phone, which was not in my hand, which was now proved, and it was an unnecessary whole ordeal of absolute chaos. But at the real time, I have to continue to move forward. I have to promote the events that I have coming up. I'm getting shamed right now and dragged because I was promoting my wine and promoting my events that I have coming up this weekend, when I'm not going to not work over this drama, and I'm not going to not run my businesses, and I'm not going to not do my things. Neither one was done for the other, but these things were already set in stone. And so life moves fast. I've got to keep pushing forward. I've got to promote those things. I hope that everybody comes and supports me at my events. This was just not an ideal situation. I did not spend any time in jail. I was not arrested. There were no charges pressed. I will be giving the full statement on my podcast, The Lisa Ann Experience. And I see you, okay, and great. So hopefully I'll see you there Sunday. So I'm going to head out and do the podcast, and then I will be, Saturday afternoon, I will be at Williamsburg Wine and Liquor in Williamsburg, Brooklyn for my very first liquor store wine event. So I'm really excited about that. It's been since last October that I have this wine here from Sicily, and this is my first store. So I'm really excited about that. I'll be there on Saturday, and then on Sunday I will be home. You know, my home away from home is the Sapphire Chains here in New York City, and then also in Vegas. So Sunday, Sapphire 60, that's where we're gonna be watching the game. You know, they have incredible food. A bunch of my friends are coming, so I'm really excited about that. And then the following Friday night, I will be at Felt Fridays in Long Island. So I will continue to promote my events because this is what I do and this is what I've always done. I did take the day yesterday to completely regroup, process the information, write myself a little mission statement. I got it this morning. I meditated, I worked out, I did all the things that make me feel the absolute best. So I will be doing some picks. I was doing the Monday Night Minute all season for Sapphire in Las Vegas. So we're gonna do something like the Monday Night Minute, but for the Super Bowl. I'm not only gonna do my game plays, but I am gonna do some props. So I'm gonna do 3 bets that day. I'll do one, which would be really fun prop bets for those of us who are like, the Gatorade color, the silly stuff. I'll do one for other props, anytime touchdown, over so many yards, that kind of a thing. And then I'll do my game predictions because we waited